Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and today I'm taking a look at this Axleback exhaust with polished tips fitting 2012 to 2018 JK Wranglers with a 3.6 liter V6. Now JKs are a lot of things to a lot of people, but they aren't really known for their exhaust note. You can certainly rectify that with this Axleback system. Coming in at a 4 out of 5 on our loudness meter, this one makes a bold statement for your JK both audibly and visually, and it does it for one of the best prices in the category. Right out of the box, the 3.6 liter Pentastar doesn't really make a whole heck of a lot of noise, but this Axleback is going to fix that really quickly. Now, since this is an Axleback system versus a full catback, it's only going to replace your back muffler, but it does still bring the heat. And as you heard from the clips at the beginning of the video, this one can really get it going. With a noticeably lower, more grumbly sound at idle, to the roar that it dumps out while you're really getting into it, it makes a huge difference. Now, it's much louder than your stock system, but it's not an unpleasant tone. And when you take the top off, you're really going to hear it. Now, inside with the top and the doors on, you're certainly going to get more noise too. Now, keep in mind that this one is pretty darn loud. You can hear all the resonances this has right here on the table. So if you're looking for something that's quiet and unobtrusive, this is not going to be your system. Now, this is all capped off by these two large 4-inch polished tips. It's a nice visual touch, but they also help provide a bit more breathing capacity for you. And despite the size of the tips, this system isn't going to ruin your rig's off-road prowess. In fact, especially if you're coming into this from a stock setup, you're going to be having too much fun romping on it and hearing that exhaust note to care. But this is still going to keep your departure angle intact as it tucks these tips really close to the rear bumper. So you get a nice visual upgrade to go along with your noise too. Construction is your standard stainless steel finished with this high temp black coating for some extra corrosion and rust resistance. Everything is TIG welded, and the 2.5-inch mandrel bed piping is going to make for better flow versus your stock exhaust as well. And those tips that we were talking about, well, they come pre-welded for an easy installation. This is exactly how it comes out of the box, and they are a dual wall slash cut design made from T304 stainless. So they're going to be nice and durable, they're going to look good for a long time, be able to stand up to the rigors of trail use or whatever else you may encounter out there. Pricing for this one comes in at about $300, and that makes it one of the most affordable Axlebacks or exhausts out there for the JK, period. And it also brings the look of a much more expensive exhaust with these cool tips without having to pay that expensive price. So I think you're getting a lot for your money here, and if you like the sound, you're going to be pretty happy with this system. Installation is going to get a 1 out of 3 and should only take you about an hour to complete. Since this is only an Axleback, there's not much piping to futz with, and you really only have to do one clamp. Otherwise, this is going to utilize all your factory exhaust hanger locations, so you don't need to modify anything on your Jeep. And if you need to return it to stock someday, you can always just take these off, put your stock one right back on. But for now, let's show you how to get it on, and for that, we're going to need to head out to the shop, so let's jump right out there and show you what's what.
For this install, you will need an impact, 15mm socket, hanger removal tool, and penetrating lubricant. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing an exhaust on our Wrangler, but before we get started we're going to send you to watch a short video on how to uninstall your factory exhaust, and then we'll see you when you get back.
So our first step is going to be to loosen up our clamp on our Axleback piping and our over the axle pipe. So I'm going to use a 15mm deep socket and my impact wrench to do that. What we can do next is remove our exhaust hanger from the isolator here. I'm going to use an exhaust hanger removal tool. You can use a pry bar, but this is a little bit easier and you can find this at your local auto parts store. I would also recommend to hit it with a penetrating lubricant. I hit it with a little bit of PB Blaster to help this slide out of the isolator. Now we can go ahead, move that up and out of the way, and then we can do the same thing for the other side. What we can do now is just wiggle our Axleback off of our over the axle pipe.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Now that we've shown you how to uninstall your factory system, it's time to go on with the new one. So we're going to start by lining up our outlet tube into our muffler and go ahead and slide that into place. Now you do want to remember to put your clamp onto your tubing here on your muffler before you go ahead and slide it on, just so you don't forget it beforehand. And so we'll go ahead and line that up. And work that into place. Okay. And once you have that bottomed out, we'll go ahead and install our hangers onto our isolators. So once we have our tubing on, we'll go ahead and line up our isolators to our hangers. Go ahead and get this side one in first. And then we can work on our other one over here. Now this hanger isolator can be a little tricky, so you can use a pair of pliers or the hanger removal tool that we're using to go ahead and pull back on your isolator. And then we'll go ahead and push this up into place. And once you have your isolator close, just go ahead and work it over your hanger. And then we'll set that back a little farther once we start adjusting how we want our fitment to be. So now that we have our hangers on and you've gone ahead and made any adjustments to your tips that you would like to make, we'll go ahead and tighten down our clamp here. And we'll use a 15mm socket on our impact to go ahead and tighten that down. So we'll line this up right on the edge of our tube. Go ahead and clamp that down. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Axleback exhaust with polished tips for your 12 to 18 3.6 liter Jeep Wrangler JK. One thing to note here, your kit does come with hanger retainer clips, but for demonstration purposes, we did not install them, but they are available in your kit. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Wrangler, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.